my loyal and intuitive Cancer friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Cancer, there's a quiet ache beneath the surface this week, a sense that something important is shifting even though life looks much the same. You may notice it in the way you pause before answering familiar questions, or in the gentle tension that lingers after a conversation. It's not anxiety exactly, but more an awareness that you're standing at the edge of something old and vast. Sensing both relief and hesitation, you might feel both grateful for the comfort of what you know and restless with the urge for something that feels just out of reach. There's a subtle pull between the desire to rest in the certainty of all you've built and the curiosity about what might come next. That soft, persistent tension is the thread running through your days now, even if you rarely speak of it. It's the voice that wonders whether you are ready to let go of one chapter, or if there's more to learn from the space you already occupy. It's the gentle swell of emotion that comes with recognizing the fullness of where you are and questioning whether you're truly prepared for what could follow. In the heart of this week, your inner landscape is shaped by the presence of the world. This isn't about simple satisfaction or easy victory. It's a deep, resonant awareness that you have come full circle in a particular area of your life. There's a gravity to this feeling, a recognition that the place you stand in now is the result of perseverance, growth, and 100 small decisions that led you here. But there's also a kind of bittersweet edge to this completion. You may find yourself reviewing the path you've walked, feeling both the pride of accomplishment and the weight of what it took to get here. Emotions rise and fall like gentle tides. Contentment, nostalgia, maybe even a little sorrow for what must be left behind. You sense the fullness of the moment, yet you also notice a lingering vulnerability, a question about what happens when the celebration fades and you are left with quiet. The world brings a sense of wholeness, but it also stirs up the quiet longing that follows an ending. You may feel a tension between relaxing into what you've achieved and the impulse to seek out the next horizon. There's no need to rush or force clarity. This is a space where you can honor your journey, appreciate the steady hands that have carried you, and allow yourself to simply be with the complexity of your feelings. Underneath it all, there's a subtle readiness, a willingness to acknowledge that while one story has reached its conclusion, another is waiting for your attention. Yet, for now, the completion is real and deserves to be felt fully before you move forward. This sense of wholeness quietly sets the stage for what's to come. As you dwell in the depth of that inner recognition, the world around you begins to respond. The fullness you carry acts like a magnet, pulling new energies, choices, and possibilities into your orbit. The very fact of having completed something meaningful creates a kind of vacuum, and life, true to its nature, rushes to fill it. The tension between rest and restlessness becomes the current that propels you onto your next path, whether or not you realize it at first. Outward events begin to stir in response to your inner shift, creating movement where there was stillness and questions where there was certainty. The next steps, though not yet clear, start to gather momentum simply because the cycle within you has turned. As the week unfolds, you'll find yourself swept up in the shifting forces of the wheel of fortune. Life takes on a dynamic, unpredictable quality, as if unseen hands are setting new pieces in motion. Pressures build, not always in the form of stress, but in the sense that circumstances are asking you to adapt, to notice patterns, and to respond to opportunities or challenges that appear almost out of nowhere. You might experience a sudden change in a relationship dynamic, an unexpected offer, or a chance encounter that leaves you questioning your routine. The air is charged with possibility, but also with uncertainty. There's a friction here, a feeling that something is turning and you are both a participant and an observer. Momentum gathers, and you may notice that the pace of your days accelerates, or that familiar routines no longer feel quite as comfortable as before. This is not fate at work in some distant, impersonal sense, but the living pulse of your own story continuing to evolve. The wheel of fortune demands no particular outcome. Instead, it invites you to notice how you respond when life's rhythms shift. Do you resist, try to hold on to what you know, or do you lean into the uncertainty, trusting that change carries its own wisdom? The friction that arises is not meant to unsettle you, but to help you see where old habits might be ready to give way to something new. The world outside seems to be in motion, and though it can feel dizzying, it's also alive with potential. Every turn, every coincidence, every challenge is a reflection of the movement happening within you. The pressure to choose, to act, or to simply let go of control is part of the larger dance between stability and growth. You're not at the mercy of these changes, but you are invited to participate, to respond, and to witness how your own energy shapes what unfolds. It becomes clear that what emerges from this week is not predetermined. The potential that lingers at the edge of your experience depends on how present you are to the changes moving through you and around you. It's not enough for circumstances to shift. The real transformation happens when you engage with those shifts consciously, bringing your full awareness to each moment of choice. The power of this week lies not in what happens, but in how you meet what happens, and how willing you are to see yourself as an active participant in your own unfolding. When you meet the moment with conscious care, the invitation of the Eight of Pentacles reveals itself. This energy is steady and grounded, focused on the small, intentional acts that build something meaningful over time. Growth here doesn't come with grand gestures or sudden leaps. Instead, it's found in the quiet repetition of effort, the willingness to pay attention to each detail of your experience, and the patience to allow skill and understanding to deepen at their own pace. You might be called to refine something you care about deeply, or to return to a practice that brings you back to yourself. There's an invitation to approach your work, your relationships, or your personal growth with the same patient devotion you would bring to tending a beloved garden. Each small step, each mindful choice, becomes a way to integrate the lessons of completion and change into something practical and lasting. The Eight of Pentacles is not about perfection, but about presence, the kind of presence that turns even the most ordinary tasks into opportunities for mastery and fulfillment. Growth is possible here, but only to the extent that you engage with your life as it is, honoring both what has ended and what is still unfolding. The invitation is gentle, steady, and always within reach, waiting for you to join in with your whole self. When you step back and look at the week as a whole, the story becomes clear. You begin with the fullness and complexity of completion, carrying both gratitude and a quiet longing for what comes next. That inner state draws change toward you, setting in motion a series of events, choices, and pressures that ask you to respond with new awareness. In the swirl of these changes, your greatest potential emerges not from trying to control the outcome, but from meeting each moment with care and attention. The world, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Pentacles together create a cycle of realization, response, and renewal. You are not required to leap ahead, nor are you meant to cling to what has passed. Instead, you are invited to let the fullness of your experience guide you forward, trusting that each step, however small, is enough. The emotional tension you feel is a sign of your growth, a reminder that you are alive to both the past and the future, and that you have the capacity to shape your life with intention. There's reassurance here. You have already weathered change before, and you carry within you the resources to meet whatever arises. By honoring where you are, engaging with what comes, and tending gently to the work before you, you create the conditions for steady, meaningful progress. The week ends not with a dramatic resolution, but with a quiet sense of belonging to your own unfolding story, a reminder that you are whole even as you continue to grow. Actionable insights for Cancer this week. Try giving yourself a little extra time to finish something, even if it already feels complete. Let yourself notice what changes around you without rushing to understand it. See if bringing gentle attention to a daily routine makes it feel more like your own. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I honor where I am, fully and quietly. My efforts matter, even when they are small. Change moves through me and I remain steady. I trust the rhythm of my own unfolding. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.